Hey everyone, you're live on Professor Bats and Friends. Thank you for being here. Woo!
Woo.
Man, Taco Tuesday. Here we go. I don't know where you are or what you're doing, but I appreciate you being here with us and joining with us. We got a few people on right now, and there will be more to come, I'm sure. Because right now, my wife is holding the grandbaby, and she is sharing the tar out of this with all the groups that we're in because this is going to be good. We got a lot to talk about. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, Tony,
Yes, sir.
how's your day going?
Man, it's been busy. Today I've
Busy,
been
man.
doing,
I tell you what, this adulting and
yeah,
work has gotten in the way of a lot of fun today.
yep, yeah. I've got a little bit more adulting to do tomorrow, but then it's
Oh, that
Prep
stinks.
City. Prep
That
City.
stinks.
Got to get ready for that trip.
I had to make a few adult decisions today. Had to put on my big boy pants, and it was not fun. But that's part of it, and that's also what helps pay the bills and buy the gear. So we got to
That's right.
do that. That's what we do. But I see you got your Rhino Rat patch up there, and I wonder why. Did you get a few packages from Rhino Rack here recently? And
Man, I have hit the jackpot, buddy. I'm telling you, Brian and AC, thank you so much. This is such a great opportunity, and I'm super excited. But anyway, lots
I'm
to do.
excited for you. I hope everybody comes out to More Expo and sees the new rack on the Gladiator. It's going to be pretty cool. I have seen it.
Check
I
it
have
out.
touched it. It is legit. I'm
It's
pretty
awesome.
excited about it. Kara is adulting is overrated. That's about right. Hey, look at there. We got More Expo on here. Hey, thanks for being on here, Chris. Chris is out filming the S'more to More route and doing some stuff on that. So if you haven't seen that, the S'more to More expedition, it's going to be cool. You can see that on moreexpo.com and get on there and see what that's all about and sign up for that. I think it's going to be cool. Man, we got some special guests on here tonight.
That's right.
We have
So excited.
the whole group, and we did not know what we were getting. This is extra special when you don't have somebody sitting in their living room with the deer heads and the family pictures behind them.
That's right.
They are actually out sitting, looks like under the awning with a little lights going. CoddiWomple Overland is with us all the way from the East Coast in South Carolina. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're doing great. It's slacked off raining finally just a little bit, but we are underneath the new awning from OVS and just kind of hanging out, waiting to talk to you guys and see what all we can get into this evening.
Well,
Awesome.
I appreciate y'all coming on here. This is a treat for me because I have just been immersed in your videos, and you put out one on the Kentucky Adventure Tour, Kentucky Adventure Trail. It was one of the longest videos that I've ever watched, but I made it to the end, and I can't believe I did because I usually don't because I get distracted. I've got ADD so bad. That I'll think about something I need to be doing, and I'll just run out to the garage and get the tools out and start doing it. But I made it to the end. It took me 2 times, 2 nights, but I made it to the end. And I've just been immersed in your videos and picking up and living life vicariously through you for the last several weeks now since since we have talked about you coming on the show, and I thought, man, these guys do it all. I mean, they've got Jeeps, they've got ginormous Dodge trucks, they've got people that just they meet out on somewhere and they say, well, they just joined us up and came along right with us. And it seems like that's happened to you on this trip.
Yeah, it has. We've got it. He's kind of standing back here, photobone. This
Yeah, I see him back there.
So, we always welcome new people to come along, and that's one of the reasons we do this is to be able to show people there's more to life than just working. And Charles had been following our channel for a while, and he reached out to me a few weeks ago, and through watching one of our shows, he had met up with a group called True Patriot, who is a nonprofit that does a lot of stuff with veterans, primarily disabled veterans. And Charles is in that category, and he met up with Mike from True Patriot, and then reached out to us and said, hey, I'd like to go on a trip with you guys at some point. So we said, we're going to spend 10 days in South Carolina. Come on.
That's
So,
awesome.
Here he is, and that's where we're at.
Awesome.
Well, that is really cool, and I'm real excited to have y'all.
Uh-oh.
I think you froze up.
Uh-oh.
I think you're back. You're Southerners, and we talk a lot, so I can understand you. A lot of these people we have on here, I can't understand what in the world they say. So I'm real excited to have y'all on here because I can understand what you're saying. Did we lose them?
Yeah, we lost you, Joey. But I think you're back.
Oh, see, we didn't have any trouble. We didn't have any trouble when we were right here on when we were talking before the show. But they are actually on location in South Carolina.
This is cool. I love it.
Yeah, we've got the whole.
Oh my goodness!
Most of the whole group with us.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing a couple. But,
I sure hope we all get back because this was going to be a treat.
oh man.
Oh boy.
Tony, you still got us?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I see you guys here.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm used to Joey kind of reading the notes here. So, oh, yeah, he's gone for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. I guess start with tell us about yourselves, your background, all that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, Kelly, I'll let you lead.
Oh, he's back.
There he is.
Hey, he's
There
back.
you are.
He's kind of back.
You're-
He's gone. He's back.
You're kind of back.
There we go.
I'm back.
Is,
All right.
All
Good deal.
right.
is Connie
I
eating
don't
up
know
your
what happened.
broadband?
Never happened before. Oh well. Go ahead. Whatever you were doing, just keep it
All
going.
right. Let's start the introduction. Yeah, I'm Kelly. I drive the Power Wagon, and I retired. Oh goodness, 8 years ago from the Coast Guard, and now I'm just living life, having a good time.
Nice.
Nancy.
I'm Nancy. I belong with Alan. We're the old folks that keep everybody else in line on this trip. And Kelly just told me today he never used to like me. Because we would come with our stock JL and do the same things that they were doing on 37s. I don't know, jacked up 6 inches.
Yeah.
But he likes me now because we have a good time.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. We've been retired for almost 25 years. We've known Bill for quite a while, and when I got my Jeep, I guess you just talked us into coming along
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
and we enjoyed it, and so here we are. We haven't been out with them for about 6 months, so we're really glad to be back out with them.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's
It
just-
probably hadn't rained a drop since you were at home, and now you're with them and getting wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think maybe it's our fault that it rains, though, because when we would travel, when our kids were growing up, we would go to, they would be saying, where are we going to camp tonight? And I'd say, see that black cloud over there? and that's where we were going to camp. And it was
Follow the
perfect.
clouds. Follow the clouds. Yeah.
Charles?
Charles, I drive a 2008 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited and got retired from the military in 2012. And
Nice.
just getting into the overlanding stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well,
Y'all know Nisky?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
yeah. I actually watched, they were part of your Kentucky Adventure Trail video.
And it rained.
And it
And it
rained.
rained.
Yep.
It rained.
They actually left us to go be with y'all. So that was.
Oh, Misty and Kelly did. Oh,
It
yeah.
was pretty, and it was sunny where we were. We
That's
had a great time. So
Just
just
saying,
wanna throw
right?
that out there.
Yeah.
It was not when they got to us.
Right.
Well, it actually was the first
Thanks,
day.
man.
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Yeah, Matt's on here. They Matt and Kara have their show in a couple hours coming up. They're going to be talking about her brand new Jeep. They
Yes.
really pulled a fast one on me. Matt and Kara live about a mile away from me, and she kept telling me. She said, "I got my Jeep wrapped. I got my Jeep wrapped. You need to come see it. You need to come see it." And we just never could get together. So she said, "Oh, if y'all are home, we're coming over. I got my Jeep wrapped. You got to see it." So I walked out there. It wasn't even the same car. I mean, it was a different. It was a brand new Jeep, and I was like,
Oh, that's good.
that's me. That's not even
wrapped in
not even
pink.
right." Matt says that he's heading to the Cat tomorrow, so that ought to be pretty cool,
Awesome.
especially with the ice storm that we're going to have moving in on
Right.
Friday. So
Yeah.
maybe that'll be some interesting video footage in Kentucky if it hits over there.
It's supposed to go all the way across up through that way.
Yeah, it
Matt, I'll
sure
get
is.
that,
That'll be interesting.
I'll get that information to you, Matt, as soon as we get finished up here.
Awesome deal.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much y'all talked about while I was gone on my little 50-second hiatus when
Oh,
the
not
internet
much. I
decided
was
to-
lost. I was trying to figure out how to take over and do your job, and
I had to put some more orders in my internet. It ran
Oh.
out on me. It's weird how it works over here. But I wanted to start off by having you tell me how this CoddiWomple thing started and where it all came from, because a lot of people, that's not a normal word for a lot of people that are out there watching. So tell us where this came from and how it all started.
So we started overlanding. We've been in off-road stuff one way or another all of our lives. Everything from ATVs, motorcycles. Deb's been involved in horses for much of her life. And we decided to get back to doing something that we wanted to do together. And that's when we got into overlanding. Well, we started taking a few videos of it to show our kids. And our son, LT, said, you can put those on YouTube. Really? I didn't know anything about YouTube at the time. Had no idea. So we started putting a couple videos on there just so they could see where we were at and where we were going and that kind of thing. And then he says, "Hey, those are pretty good. You can make money at that." I said, No, you can't. Not really. And I said, "Well, if we can make enough money to pay for our gas." And he said, "Well,
Thanks,
you got to
Jason.
have a name other than just your personal name channel." So we started looking and stumbled across CoddiWomple. So 1 million people asked what CoddiWomple means. It means to wander aimlessly towards a yet known destination. So it fits.
That seems like it's perfect.
It does.
That's how CoddiWomple Overland was born.
Awesome. That's a great
That-
story.
That's cool, and I don't think you could have found a more fitting name than that. It's pretty cool. I would encourage everybody to go to your website, CoddiWomple Overland, CoddiWomple-Overland.com. Tell you a little bit about yourself. You're not shy about who you are, what you do. All of y'all have said that you're either first responders or retired military or some kind of form of public service, as I am. So I feel a connection with you already. Now, one thing that I have noticed in your videos is that Deb is like the animal whisperer. Everywhere you go, it seems like she's putting a calf back with its mama or finding a horse on the road out in the middle of nowhere and the owner's nowhere around. How in the world does this happen so often?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I can tell you there was 5 dogs on the side of the road, and they would not let me pick them all up. So we couldn't
Yeah,
fit them in.
she would-
If I would have had a seat open, they would have been coming home with me.
Uh-oh.
Every one of those animals that she rescues,
Yeah.
there's a battle behind the scenes you don't see about her wanting to take it home.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And we talked about that before the show started. There's a lot of stuff that you don't show behind the scenes. You don't put everything out there for the world to see. Of course, you don't want to air everything for the world to see. But is there a lot that goes on that you're like, yeah, we're not going to put that out there? Are you hitting record sometimes when you think, oh boy, I don't know, this is going to be good? Maybe save that for the kids or something like that.
Yeah, occasionally there's that stuff when we get back that it's Deb will say you can't use that. We try to be as candid and open as we can about who we are and what we do. I mean, what you see on camera is pretty much as original as it gets. We don't try to make up anything, or it's just us doing our thing, and me trying to tell the story and carry people along with it. But yeah, there are occasionally some things that get dropped on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, Misty is commented here something about a dead body whisperer. What is that?
A dead body, animal, and a dead body whisperer.
Oh no.
You know how law people are, right? So everything to me looks like, you see a big trash bag, it's a dead body. You see a box, there's a body in it. So that's kind of where that originated from.
Okay.
And then us doing search and rescue. And then we have been on a couple trips, and we stumbled upon a box that had a body in it. So it kind of has been our joke with everything.
You actually stumbled on a box that had a body in it.
So to clarify,
I'm thinking
I don't know if everybody out there heard that, but
yeah,
I heard that, and I just had to put the brakes on for a minute. There's a little bit more to this.
So we seen the box, and it was
and I
on
said
the edge
there
of the
was
lake.
a body in it.
Deb says, "I bet there's a body in that." We drove right on by it. So there was some boats out that night next to the lake, and we
Big searchlights going.
Searchlight.
But a lot of people were like, that's the fishing boat, so we didn't put much to it,
So the next day, we hear on the news that there was a body found in a box at the lake that we had just left. There was a body in that box.
Then where was we at? The lighthouse tour when we was on that one, and then somebody drowned in the lake that we were next to. So it's just been kind of weird.
Yeah, there's several other stories that go along with that.
Yeah.
I bet y'all's campfire stories are interesting.
Campfire stories with y'all would be incredible. That's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Well, I've found dead bodies in my actual professional career, but not actually in the one that I get away from my professional career.
We try to get away from it. It's just,
no kidding.
No.
It just follows you. It's like camping with the Ring or something. My goodness. Wow.
I steer clear of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm anti-dead body.
That's incredible. I love that. That's good. That's good. That's good material. Have you started your book yet? Because people, you need to tell the story.
We definitely need to.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, do you enjoy the video part of it? Is that something that you enjoy, or do you just do that to tell your story?
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, just putting it together. We, sit around together, and when we're home, and put a video together, and be able to go back and talk about, what we seen and what we did, and
it gives us
that kind of stuff.
A whole nother opportunity to relive what we've done. And it's really cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Really
I
cool.
tell my kids all the time. We don't, when I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure that we're close to the same age. When I was growing up, we had the picture albums on the coffee table, and you don't have that anymore.
No, you
And
don't.
this is how you tell your story. This is what you go back and look at. You look at
Picture album.
Instagram, you look at the Facebook, you look at YouTube, and the good thing about it is pictures fade and the internet's going to be here forever. So
That's right.
and your story will always be told. And I think that's a very cool thing that you're doing, and you do it well.
Joey, your next phone's going to have more storage on it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I've already filled my phone up several times.
Twice this year already.
Twice this year, and it's just March. So
we have
do you use how do you do your video? Do you use phones? Do you use cameras, GoPros? What do you use?
We've got a Canon 90D that we use some, and then we've got GoPros. We've got Hero 9s, Hero 10s, and then we've got a couple different drones. We've got a Mavic Air 2S and just the Air 2. And then a lot of our stuff is shot. The majority of stuff that Deb shoots is on a Samsung S21 Ultra. So the majority of our stuff is cell phones.
That's awesome.
Yeah, S21's on my list.
How do you do your drones? Does one of you drive, one of you fly, or?
If there's drone footage and we're moving, Deb's driving. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you don't trust Deb to fly the drone.
She doesn't trust herself. I can't trust you to drive it either. If you've seen the factory view crash, we had to stay an extra day in Blaine, Utah, so I could have a new drone shipped to us.
Oh no!
Yeah, there's some good video there of what a rock at 40 miles an hour does to a drone.
Oh no!
Oh,
it didn't fare very well, huh?
Awesome. Yeah. That's great.
Right,
well, there's so much out there to see, so much out there to talk about, and I can't wait to get into some of it. We're going to take a break. We've been here about 20 minutes going at it. We're going to take just a small break and have Tony talk about one of our sponsors. Stand by.
It's now time for the Sponsor Spotlight, talking about all the products, services, events, and businesses that we use and love. Here we go.
Tony, who we have on this week?
This week, our sponsor spotlight is EcoFlow. EcoFlow portable power stations. So you saw that test I did over the weekend where I ran that Snowmaster fridge to see how long it would last on that Delta. 63 hours.
I did.
It ran 63 hours.
63 hours.
Yeah. I had it set at 26 degrees.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was empty, so it's not running as efficient as it would if it had, food loaded up with food and drinks and stuff. But yeah, that was pretty impressive. So the thing about this also that was really impressive was the recharge time. It took an hour and 17 minutes to fully recharge this Delta 1300 power station back to 100%. So their thing is they recharge from 0 to 80% within an hour. Their extreme charge technology recharges the power station within 1 hour, which is one of the fastest recharging rates on the market. X-Boost technology, you can power up to 1,800 watt devices. 13 devices simultaneously. So fastest recharge by solar and car. In your car, you can recharge it in under 10 hours. So their app, they have an amazing app. It's you get it on your phone, it links up and tells you how much battery you got left and all that kind of good stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
It did a fine job. I mean, that's almost 3 full days without a recharge.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Pretty interesting. I can't wait till you get that out there and hook some solar to it and see how long it can go without actually being plugged into a electrical outlet.
Right.
Yeah. That'd be a good test too.
Yeah.
That'd be a good test too. Well, Bill, I'm going to give you a chance. I know you do a lot of videos and you have some sponsors. You want to give some shout outs to the people who keep you going?
Yeah. We have a few really, really cool sponsors. The first one that takes care of us the most is Dan Cummins Off Road. Dan Cummins Off Road is a dealership that's in Georgetown and Paris, Kentucky, but they sell vehicles and parts all over the United States. The cool thing about what they do is you can buy a Jeep like our Gladiator and pick out what kind of lift you want, whether it's a Mopar or Clayton or whatever. Have them install it and go ahead and put your 37s on and your Dirty Life wheels or whatever you want. And when you roll it off the showroom floor, you've got a lifted vehicle with their own lifetime powertrain warranty still there. So,
Wow.
yeah, I mean it's a
Wow.
game changer. We've got our new Gladiator. We had them install the lift on it, put the tires and wheels on it, and it's still got a full warranty. So
Hey, Aaron.
we're
Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's one of the things I did my own install, but I'm concerned. One of these days I'm gonna have to take it in for something,
yeah.
and I'm wondering what the dealership's gonna say. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool of them, and they're doing more accessories and parts and stuff. They've got their own storefront now, so you can get a lot of stuff from them at dancumminsoffroad.com. And then Overland Vehicle Systems takes care of us, helps us out in tents and things like that. They're a fairly new company, but they've been up and coming since we did. And we really like the stuff that they've done. And then Trail Ready Coffee. If you haven't tried any Trail Ready Coffee, you gotta try it. Mojave is the killer stuff. That's our favorite. But the thing I like about what they do is a portion of their proceeds goes back to help keep trails clean and keep trails open. So I reach out to those guys when I first found them. Said, listen, I'm not looking for money or anything. I want to help you promote your business and what you're doing because I like you all doing what you're doing for trails. I was a National Off-Highway Vehicle Council state rep for several years, and I like what they do. So that's been a good partnership for us, and hopefully it's helped them and helped the trails kind of in an indirect way. And then Chris with More Expo, we're going to be at one of the storyteller booths there. We haven't been there before. We hear that's great, and we can't wait to get out to more and hope to see everybody there.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. We can't wait to see you there as well. It's going to be real fun. I'm glad y'all are coming. It is the largest indoor overlanding event in the United States, and it has just gotten bigger and better every year, and it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Last year it blew my mind when there was 22 inches of snow on the ground and people just rolled in like it was 80 degrees and sunny. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So this year, with it being in April, there shouldn't be any excuses for getting there, and I think everybody's going to have an amazing time. I'm glad y'all are coming.
Heck yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we're glad to be coming. Chris has done a great job with those, and he keeps getting better like every year. Everything he seems to put his hands on definitely seems to grow, and we're looking forward to being a part of it.
Definitely. Well, tell us about your rigs. We see them in all your videos. Tell us about what you've done to make them overland ready. What you got?
Well, I'll start off with, I guess, the original one, the orange JK. When we bought it, it was completely bone stock. It's now got a Clayton Off-Road, and I walked right by them when I was talking about sponsors. But Clayton Off-Road Lifts is one that we got on both of our Jeeps, and I can't say enough good things about the Clayton Off-Road Lifts. They're
100%.
incredible. Their Overland Plus platform is exactly what we need for doing what we're doing.
Yep.
But that's the lift that we put on it and the new JT. We've done some interior customizing on the JK. It's got a floor delete. I've done a DIY floor in it to get rid of the back seats to make some room. Of course, it's Overland Vehicle Systems 270 awning and rooftop 10 on it. It does really good. Deb fell in love with the Gladiators, and then we we stepped into the Mojave Gladiator. A lot of people ask us why we did the Mojave versus the Root Quad. We don't do a whole lot of rock climbing. In the last 3 years, I've used my front diff lock in that orange Jeep 3 times. Wasn't something that I felt like we really needed or had to have. What I wanted for was the frame upgrades, the cast iron knuckles, and the things for off-road, higher speed driving that the Mojave brings. So that's what we've done with it.
Nice.
But it's growing. As a matter of fact, we're sitting under the awning on it right now. We've done a smart cap on it. We've done the Clayton Diff, of course, 37s. But the back of this Jeep, we're getting ready to put a video out tomorrow that's going to show the drawer system that's in the back of this Gladiator, and it's unlike anything that I have ever seen. It actually has 4 slides in the back of it.
4 slides.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you made Tony's mouth all dry. Now he don't know what to say.
it has got a base slide from a company called Slide Masters. We put one of the easy slide refrigerator slides in it. It slides out and drops down. I mean, Deb's fairly vertically challenged. So with this Jeep at 37s, we had to drop the refrigerator down where she could see in there. So we've got that, and then in the smart cap between the 2 cabinets, we custom fabbed another full 42-inch slide between the 2 cabinets, and it comes all the way out. It's 100% slide. And then the 4th slide is the table that fits up in the RSI smart cap, so that it's got 4 slides in.
And what's the name of the company again?
The slides that we got was from Slide Masters.
Slide Masters. Okay.
They're not real well known for their vehicle slides. They're just now starting to do it, but they've been doing slides in rescue trucks and fire engines for the last 30 years.
Okay.
So I knew them from years ago and knew the quality. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking. So would you say they're friendly for like an open bed situation, not necessarily a cover?
They're steel frame, steel rollers, 1,000-pound capacity. The tray itself is aluminum. So,
Okay.
you can get it in 3/16 aluminum or 1/8 aluminum, and they're going to be about half the price of anything else you'll find.
Oh wow.
So my full rear slide was about $1,300.
Okay.
Well, right now you need to save as much money as you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all noticed out there, but I made me a new sign. Will work for
Paid over
gas.
$4 a gallon today for.
Oh, my goodness.
So with what I drive, I don't have to worry about gas prices. I mean,
That's correct, because you don't put gas in there. But I want to ask you, how is it overlanding this gigantic truck? Because I just can't imagine. Just tell us about it.
Well, I mean, it's a challenge sometimes. There's no doubt about that. First off, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I've done with that truck if it wasn't for Bill and Deb spotting. Right, because one of the things, I can't see anything. That's the biggest liability to that. Visibility is just horrible.
That's why I hit the stump.
No,
Nobody was spotting.
Yeah, no, I should have seen the stuff. It was right there. I just wasn't seeing it. But it's I really like it for the room it gives me inside. That's my daily driver, and that's our family road trip vehicle also. Just because of how much room is in it, it's just a really comfortable ride. In the tight stuff, especially of the East Coast, I do have to work pretty hard. The dealership I bought this last one from had an idea of what I was going to do, and they actually cringed when a buddy of mine showed them the first video of me dragging tree branches down that 75th anniversary. They said, I can't believe he's doing that. But the way I look at it is that's what it's for.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whether you're buying JT or whatever you drive, if you want to do off-roading or overlanding, that's what they're for.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't go up there and just just beat on it for no point. But if it takes a dent or a scrape going down a trail, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's usually a pretty good story attached with all those dents and scrapes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know y'all don't go out there to intentionally damage them. I mean, I saw on the video just today where you said sometimes you just gotta stop and cut a few limbs, if not for you, for the next person. So
Yeah.
that's just part of it.
Yeah, it's always a balancing act. If we've actually had 2 trails in 2 years where we kind of waved off a little, mostly because of conditions. And it was as much for the trail itself as for the vehicle. We could probably make it through here. We're all rolling on 37 mud tires, but is that really fair to the trail? And do we have to do it today? No, we don't.
True.
No, that's right.
That's true. And like we've said earlier, you're not ever out there in perfect conditions. So I don't know how that happens to you with the rain. Y'all, you're like the little character on Peanuts that the little cloud follows him around everywhere he goes. If you want to go get some experience camping in the rain, contact CoddiWomple Overland, and they'll be glad.
They've got
to
advice.
take you, especially if you've got awnings and tarps and covers to get under. How do you plan where you go? You're like if you got some time off coming up, you want to do a video or whatever. What's the process that you go through about planning where you go, how you get there, your route, all that stuff?
Well, we use Guide GPS on virtually all of our stuff. I've done map work, GIS work, survey work, on and off for much of my adult life. But the platform from Gaia is very, very well put together, very well thought out. The layers that you're able to use just works great. It's not hard to learn, and that's what we use. But I use the MVUM layers a lot. East Coast is tough. It's not like being able to go out on BLM property and just wander around. It's a little trickier out here to be able to find things. One of the things that we like to do is a lot of times not recreate the wheel. Right now, we're on the South Carolina adventure route. It may not end up being exactly what we were looking for as far as terrain goes, but it's about the adventure and about being able to get out of here and just enjoy it. So I would, encourage people to look up the backcountry discovery routes. We just finished the Mid-Atlantic backcountry discovery route, where we went from the New York, Pennsylvania state line to the Virginia, Tennessee state line. And then we actually had an extra day there and was able to connect with the motor vehicle use map through forest roads. We connected that to the Smoky Mountain 1000. The Smoky Mountain 1000 being another BDR that will take you all the way down to Georgia, which also connects you into the Georgia Traverse, and you can go all the way to Alabama. So, it takes a little bit of planning. The BDRs are great. Camping's a little tough. You've probably seen some of the videos where we've had some late night camps get to camp. And Nancy and Alan and Deb and I have even had to have dinner at 11:30 at night in a convenience store parking lot before we could camp. Those things happen, You just kind of roll with the punches and enjoy being out here. But the MVUM maps on Guide GPS, backcountry discovery routes that's already been established, and just go explore around your national forest, the public lands. It's more difficult on the East Coast, but we've been able to do it for the last 2 years. We're having to go a little bit further out from our home base now to find new things, but we're still managing to do it.
Have you been to a national park lately?
To a national park? We haven't been to any national parks since we went out west.
So I was going to say, have you found the national park lair in Gaia yet?
If not,
We used it when we were in Big Bend back
Okay.
in
It's
December.
very nice.
There, yeah,
All right.
it actually gives you the national park map where you
Oh,
can
wow.
tell where you are in the park. So we were in Big Bend, and we were actually able to use the park to tell where we were on Gaia in the park. That was cool.
It's one of their big printed maps. If you were to go in a visitor center and buy one of their big maps, it's like that map overlaid right there.
Yeah.
All of the
Nice.
legends, all of the tracks, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty
it's similar to the Nat Geo player.
Correct.
Awesome.
cool. Yeah.
And it only gives you, when you pull it up, it gives you the little square. So if you back out of it, it'll show you the square of the national park.
Yeah.
You zoom in on it, it'll show you exactly where you are. So, and that really was helpful to us at Big Bend, because Big Bend is so humongous.
Yeah.
Just miles and miles and miles. You have to travel 40 miles to get anywhere, and so to know where we were, that was very helpful. And Tony found that on there, and I was like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to
So
check that out. That's Big Ben's is on one of our wintertime lists for sure.
we were down there. We went
Sure.
down there the day after Christmas, and it was we had to wait to get in on the 26th, but after that, it was when we got off road, we were the only ones around. It was amazing. So
Yeah.
it was really nice. But yeah, I would definitely go down there during the winter, and there's a lot of good places to stay down there. The park is really kind of janky about reserving campsites in the park. But there's tons of places on Hip Camp and places like down there that you could stay. So
Coyote Crossing was right outside the park. Nice private
Yeah.
place.
it was really, really nice, and had bathrooms and showers right around the road and right around the corner and all that. But so on watching your videos, you said you use Gaia. So do you use a tablet connected to your phone, or do you have a tablet that has service? I saw a larger screen that had the Gaia maps on there. So how do you connect it?
We use a Samsung, one of the Samsung tablets, and it has its own data program and GPS in it, so we don't have to connect to another phone or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
I was wondering about that, because everybody's got their own little system, and the older I get, the harder it is for me to see. And I think in about 10 more years, I'm gonna have to have about a 42-inch screen down there to be able to see, because I just can't see. I had to put my glasses on, take them off, put them on, take them off, put them on, take them off.
Yeah,
And
I'm the same way.
and it's frustrating, but that's just part of it. So I love the bigger screen, and especially one that's got its own plan. You don't have to worry about that. I love the Samsung tablets because they've got the places you could put the mini SD cards in there. Don't have to worry about memory and all that. So it works out really well. Well, good.
Yeah, we've been real happy with ours.
Okay, cool. Well, that was definitely one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because seeing the places that you go, a lot of people were like, I want to go somewhere, but I don't really know where to go. But having that resource of the backcountry discovery routes, looking up the national forest, it gives you a place to start, and that's great advice there.
Yeah, a lot of people, want to know where to go and reach out to us, and I don't care, to give our tracks up. I mean, there's a lot of controversy with that, for some people, and I just want to see people get out and enjoy nature. But if they want to do a little bit of exploration on their own, or a little research on their own, the backcountry discovery routes is the way to go. And the majority of those, with the exception of the Kentucky Adventure Tour, you can pretty much do in anything. There are some locations on the CAT where it's going to take a little bit of clearance to do those. The CAT is by far the most difficult DBR that we've done, and we've done quite a few of them. But any of the other ones are great for somebody who just wants to get out and try it. And you don't have to several days.
If somebody's listening right now and they have no idea what to do, is there a website that they can go to find these backcountry discovery routes? Where would somebody go to find these routes?
Yeah, it's backcountrydiscoveryroute.com, I think is.
Well, they made it easy for you. There you go.
It's pretty much easy. And then, or you can, good old Google. Just Google search backcountry discovery routes, and they're from everywhere from here to Washington. They're literally almost in every state, I think.
All right. Well, every time Deb comes back, she comes back with another layer. Is it cold there?
It is
The wind has
freezing
picked
here.
up across the
Oh,
lake.
yeah.
It's
And
getting
we're
cold.
like
Whipping.
20 feet from the lake. So
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate y'all being tortured on our behalf. We'll try not to keep you all night. And you
Joey.
mentioned earlier you still haven't had dinner because you ate breakfast at 11 o'clock, which is that's part of the no schedule. I love not having a schedule.
right.
Just
Yeah.
do what you want when you want, and you know what? If you want to stay up past bedtime and eat a Snicker bar at midnight, you can.
We can
That's
do
just
that.
part of it.
That's right.
It's just part of it. Well, tell me about some of the gear. A lot of people watch your videos, see your gear. What is some of the gear that you have you would not leave home without that you just absolutely is a must take on every trip?
I'll let you answer that.
They're Jeeps.
Oh, Jeep is not a gear.
What's the gear back there?
Oh, like food. I do food. I thought you meant like gear, like recovery gear or something.
Well, we gotta have.
Yeah, well, whether it's for the vehicle or whether it's for cooking, it seems like you pull out that JetBoil Genesis a lot.
Yes, that's my favorite kitchen piece. That and the cast iron. You have to have. I have to have cast iron. But I cook at home with cast iron.
Now you're
Yes.
speaking Joey's language.
Yes.
There he goes.
Speaking my language.
Yeah. And
In
a big
fact, I
pressure.
love how you have the JetBoil Genesis, which is like this big around, and then you've got the double lodge griddle that's like this long sticking out the side of it. And I was like, that's my kind of girl right there. It don't have to fit, it don't even have to look pretty, but it's effective.
Right.
I love it.
It is.
I love it. Well, yeah, I see that. How do you like the Gazelle? Tell me how you like the Gazelle, Kelly.
I like it a lot. It's I don't know how to. You guys may have noticed if you watch some of the videos, I'm kind of I want to say anti-overlanding. I have no overlanding gear
Kelly's
on my
our
truck.
overlanding backpacker.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did see the thing you shoved into your tent that had wheels on it, and that's like a no-no. We just don't do that. We don't buy stuff with wheels on it.
They have corrupted me so badly. I'm telling you. we saw a mattress on the side of the road in one of the national parks, and I actually thought about grabbing it and pulling it into the truck.
Oh
It
my
gets so
God.
spoiled.
Mattress.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
no, the Gazelle's been great because I was using a 3-person backpacking tent for the longest time, and it gets a little cramped. And then my wife and daughter do actually make some of the trips. And my wife still works, stupid job. She's got a schedule. She's got an adult a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
And so that Gazelle, the extra room, I borrowed their T4 for a while and really liked it. It's a good quality tent. That T4 Plus is kind of a game changer. We used it on the last 2 trips as like a community resource.
Mm-hmm.
And so on a nasty day like this, we can still set it's big enough to set the lawn chairs up in, and stay out of weather like this and still be able to talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's really been a good addition for us.
Nice.
Well, I know you all like pain and suffering because I know that you have walls for that awning and they're not on there, or you could be sitting in there with the little propane heater going.
So that works really well on the orange one when you have the awning on and have the walls with you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the key is you got to have them with you.
The new Bushville tent awning, which is not near as big and doesn't have any walls.
Oh,
The
okay.
other awning for this one is sitting in the garage.
We have an awning for this one, but it didn't make it on for this trip.
Well, that's the
But
way it goes.
if we would have been really smart, we would have been under Alan and Nancy's 270 awning, which is sitting right over there, opened up.
With no walls on
But
it.
it doesn't have any walls on it.
Yeah, well, that's the way it
That's the way
goes
it goes,
sometimes. Well, I love how you use the Gazelle. Everybody crams in there because it's got that little community room. I have never been inside one of the double ones before. One of the single ones are pretty big. I can't imagine how much room you've got in there. It's got to be pretty cozy.
It's huge.
It's 8x16.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's enormous with better than 6 foot clearance in the center.
No.
So if you're and setting it up, one person you can set it up. Two people, really 3 minutes. It does go up that well, and it does seem to really handle the weather. Excuse me, but yeah, I've been really happy with the purchase, and I think we're going to probably be using it most of the trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we've got Mom's purse there to where we can carry it. That's what
Well-
the name of the power wagon is. It's Mom's purse. So anything that we can't carry somewhere else
Yeah.
goes in Mom's purse.
Okay.
Half the stuff in my truck is usually not my stuff. So you
Oh,
talk
my
about wheeling
goodness.
that big truck. One of the big advantages of it, I can put a lot of stuff in that truck.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you know, you can haul any stuff in the front, in the back, and you can hook onto something and haul even more.
Yeah.
Those things are something. So Missy says Kelly is Semper Paratus.
Semper Paratus. That's
Semper.
yeah. Misty and I worked with each other about 15 years ago.
Oh, okay. I think I remember her mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, you know,
Tony, we bring a lot of stuff too. For sure.
yeah. You know, the hardest thing for my wife, I drive an FJ Cruiser, and it's about this size.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we pack, I give her one front runner box, and I tell her everything that you take has to fit in this box. And that is the hardest thing for her to do, is to try to fit. She's getting me to sit on top of it along with herself to try to get the lid closed, because it don't matter if I give her a 55-gallon drum, she's going to fill it full. You know, it's whatever you give her, it's going to be packed full. So the hardest thing for her to do is weed out this stuff. And
we outgrew the orange Jeep and started putting stuff in Mom's purse over there. And then when we got the Gladiator, you talk about the front runner boxes. We now have 6 front runner boxes in the Gladiator, and she just called Sam at Dan Cummins Off Road and ordered 2 more.
Oh, wow.
So
Because I have spot for them.
It goes into the
If
place.
you have room, you fill it up.
well, yeah, I mean,
So-
you can't have empty space. I mean, you can't have empty space.
yeah, it's
So-
like a garage.
Come on.
You know, the bigger the garage, the more stuff you have, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? How do you guys decide which vehicle you take?
We haven't decided
we
that. We haven't
haven't.
figured that out yet. I mean, there's a lot of people that take both vehicles. Deb doesn't like to drive well enough to take both vehicles.
I can. I look around and then I run off the road, and then you get
That's
mad.
a concern.
Yeah.
That's a
That is something to
concern.
think
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
So we haven't figured that out yet. I
Yeah.
think the orange Jeep is probably going to go through another facelift over the next year,
Yeah.
and it's going to end up being our more hardcore vehicle. So if we're going to get into something that's going to be a little tougher, then the orange Jeep's going to be the one that ends up rolling on that.
Gotcha.
That's kind of what we do too. We have 2 FJs, and my wife's is really nice. We don't take it very much, and mine is just beat to heck, and so we take it everywhere. So it doesn't make hers doesn't make many trips. We're kind of saving it for the future,
Right?
But you know, I always want to have at least one vehicle that I can take somewhere in case mine breaks down. So you know, it's kind of like guitars and motorcycles. You can't have just one. You got to have.
That's
a
right.
So,
That's right.
yeah, that's cool. I like that y'all have 2 now, because that throws a whole different wrench into the future of your videos that you're going to be doing now.
Yes, it does.
The decisions on what do we take, which one are we going to drive. Tony's in the same boat.
We're in
He's
the
got
same
2 of them
exact
now.
boat. Same boat.
We've been really happy with the Gladiator build. I like to say that the orange one was our learning overlanding rig.
Yeah.
You know, we've done a lot of trial and error on that one, and you know, bought a lot of stuff and ended up either selling it or giving it away or whatever, you know, and ended up having to buy more stuff. But with this Gladiator, we knew where we wanted to go with it and what we wanted to do with it, and I think that it's turning out to be, for us, what we would consider our ultimate overlanding rig.
Awesome.
So is it me, or does it seem like Deb doesn't mind getting the Gladiator muddy?
Oh gosh. No, I don't mind. I mean, that's what we got it for. Of course, this week was the first time we actually washed it off, because we don't do that often with any of our vehicles, it seems like. Because, it's just the next week you get it dirty again.
Right.
And I was like, oh, look at the scratches. Oh, look at all the paint chips.
Oh, we don't want to don't wash it.
Mud covers that up. If you wouldn't wash it, you wouldn't see that.
Yeah, well, that's what I figured. I was like, well, I'll just leave it dirty from now on, like Kelly does. He ain't never washed his.
Never washed it.
I tell her that
that's what you got the rain for.
Protection.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the rain follows us. It feels guilty about how nasty our vehicles are.
Yeah. The rain provides the mud. It provides the car wash, and the cycle continues.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife just commented, we have to wash it right. And, I have to tell myself, I have to tell my wife all the time, okay, when we go out and come back, I have to let it stay dirty at least 2 days. Otherwise, people are going to accuse me of being a mall crawler.
That's right.
And, oh, you got all this stuff. You never get it dirty. Your wheels are so shiny. Do you ever take it anywhere? So we have to let it stay dirty at least 2 days.
Yeah.
Now, Tony takes wheel cleaner and wheel polish and shine and all that with him.
When I get home, I clean it up.
Yeah.
Like using a tool, I clean it up and put it away.
We went out to Big Ben, and as soon as we got back to camp that day, he was wiping stuff off and polishing the tires and all this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I get a lot of grief, but it's okay.
Anyway, it's all fun, and everybody has their own way of doing things.
No pros.
No pros.
But I don't want people saying, "Hey, you put all this money in this, you never use it."
Yeah.
You got all this money in it. Why are you going to keep cleaning?
We don't want a domestic disturbance going on the shoulder. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I love it. Well, hey, I want to talk about some of your trips that you've been on, some of your favorite places that you've been, and some of the places that you plan to go in 2022. But we are going to pause for station identification for about a minute and a half. Take a little break, get a little drink, go do what you need to do. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Barry Henderson with Turtleback Trailers.
I'm Adam with Okie Overland.
This is John with Long Creek Overland.
I'm Drew with Rock Squash Design. I'm Casey with US Action Tracks.
Hi, I'm Joe. And I'm Misty from The Day We Were Made.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah from Overland Pioneer.
Hi, we're Jessica and Jorge, the Limerick Wonders.
It's Chris from More Expo. I'm Misty from Lady Overlander Radio.
You're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
You're watching.
Are watching.
You're watching.
And you're watching Professor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.
Joey the Professor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.
To the Professor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.
Professor and
Friends.
Sponsored by Artemis Overland Hardware. More Expo, April 8th through the 10th, 2022 in Springfield, Missouri. Tack Farm, Blue Sail Coffee Roasters, Linson Solar, Howling Moon Tents and Awnings, Big Iron Overland Rally, June 10th through the 12th, Mountain Hatch, Lifesaver Water Filters, MC Ranch Overland, Snowmaster Frigid, EcoFlow, Timbo Tuss Scottles, Dial Dynamics Lighting, and our good friends at Midland Radio. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. No pros, just bros on this show. Here we go.
That's right. No pros, just bros. Except
Cracks
Tony,
me
who's the professional fabricator now.
No, you gotta stop saying that. I'm not.
You are a creator. You took nothing and made something.
I'm a creator. Well,
so if you look at the before picture of your trailer, that's nothing.
It's awful.
If you look at it now, it's something. So you took nothing and created something. So you're a creator, fabricator. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. We appreciate you making sure that we do this every week and creating, making fools out of ourselves. We love it. We enjoy it, and people actually watch it, and it blows our mind. We don't understand, but that's the way it goes. Man, tell us about some of your favorite places that you've been. I always love to ask this because there's people out there who are making bucket lists, and tell us some places that we must go.
So,
on the East Coast.
On the East Coast, there's been a lot of places we've been already, but I think one of my favorite places has been the Monongahela National Forest, and northeastern West Virginia, and then part of the George Washington. So hopefully Portland takes you guys up toward Monongahela when you guys get out here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on the list, Joey?
It took me like 2 weeks to learn how to say that.
Monongahela.
Now we're going. So now that I can say it, we have to go.
Monongahela. Is that where they got the great pizza?
Yeah, Monongahela.
Have y'all had great pizza?
No, well, it's just south of Summersville.
They haven't had great pizza, Joey.
Haven't.
Well, it's just one of those things. I never even heard of grape pizza until we went to West Virginia, and they introduced it to me.
I've never heard of it.
You put in, and I was like, I went out there, and they're like, "Oh, give us a couple of those great pizzas," and I was like, "Whoa." I used to be a youth minister. Okay, I for 20 years, all I ate was pizza and cheese dip, and so I have had every kind of pizza imaginable in about 6 different countries, and I have never heard of putting grapes
on a
pizza. And so they ordered this great pizza, and I was like, why don't they serve this where I live? This is incredible. So it was a food that I discovered in West Virginia. So now we drive 12 hours to eat great pizza.
Where's this place at?
It's a national forest. It's called the Monongahela
No,
National
the
Forest.
pizza.
It's a big giant place.
No, the pizza.
They have it in Summersville. Right?
Oh, it's in Summersville. Okay.
I swear. It's like having a show with a 6-year-old.
Writing my notes.
Man.
And I think
Monongahela. I've been to parts of it. He took us up where I had no idea that they had the wind turbines in West Virginia.
Yeah.
So cool, and you can drive right up to them.
Yep.
I mean, we were right up underneath them, and you could see forever. Parked right up underneath them, and you hear them things turn on and stuff. Oh, so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's definitely neat up there.
Man, somebody keep texting.
Yeah, and as far as the West Coast, my pick, I guess, obviously is the western side of Green River, going down towards Hanksville.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably we're around Factory Butte, that area.
What state are you talking about now?
Utah.
Okay, Utah.
Out on the West Coast, or out on the western part of the United States. We haven't been a whole lot out there yet. We've done a good portion of Utah, southeastern Utah, and then southwestern Colorado. We really enjoyed that trip. Matter of fact, we're going back out this year.
Oh, good.
But we're actually going to do. We're going to start in Arizona this time.
Oh, see.
So we're going to start around the North Rim and just meander our way north and east. I think
that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. Yeah. I don't think y'all would like that at all.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Yeah. It's amazing when you get out, when you get west of Denver.
Yeah,
there's not a bad spot. I mean, I don't know of a bad spot.
No.
It's just all beautiful in its own way. Now getting from like my house to Denver, horrible. It's horrible. It's flat, windy, nothing to see. And everything's beautiful in its own way. There's a song about that, but it seems like the center is split just west of Arkansas, and you want to go east, or just west of Denver, and you want to go west. There's not a whole lot in that little area. Yeah. But it's odd, and I love talking to people that live out where you live, because not very many people want to go east when they make their plans. When they live where I live, when you ask them where's some places that you want to go, it seems like every place is west. It's always the normal ones. It's the Colorados, it's the Utahs, the Arizonas, Nevadas, California, whatever. But they've never experienced the Appalachian, mountains. They've never experienced the Tennessee, the Kentuckys, the West Virginias. They've never seen that part. And it's really not publicized a lot, and it's really not populated with overlanders like the West is. So how do you see that with somebody living out there, living out in that part of the world and being an overlander? You're out there a lot and you take advantage of that area, and it's not the popular area, but you're putting it out there for people. You're exposing it to the world. And so how do you see that through your eyes?
I like to be able to show people that there are places that you can go on the East Coast. It's beautiful. It's more difficult to find them, and you're not off road for days. When we were out west, there was 3-4 day sections where we wouldn't see civilization. You're not that fortunate here, but sometimes you can put a couple days string together in in the Nantahala National Forest or something, to where you can stay in the woods and feel remote. But you've just got to work a little bit harder to do it on the East Coast, and there's still more places that we want to go to. We want to go work our way up through the New England states, through New Hampshire and Maine. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do that one later on in the fall this year and get the colors. We talked about maybe doing Florida during the winter this year. It just didn't pan out for us, but I would love to go down and spend some time around the Crystal Spring rivers in the northern part of Florida. Misty and Joe tells us that that's some of the most pretty places that you can see. Everything's so different on the East Coast to the West Coast. It's hard to compare the two. That's why when people ask us, which do you like? Well, which do you like for what?
It's not even close to being the same.
Right.
People post pictures about camping at Cape Lookout, North Carolina. You can camp on the beach in Texas, but it's not anywhere close to what that is out there. It's two completely different experiences. You talk about being up in the Northeast during the fall colors. I have never seen fall colors like they come out in the Adirondacks. It's the colors are, pictures don't do it justice. And you talk about the bright colors that don't even look real. That's one of my dream places as well. But that's not really, one of the places. We interviewed a guy from Michigan who overlands in Michigan. From help me out, Tony.
Fries on the side.
Fries on the side. And I told him, I said, when people talk about overlanding, they don't think about Michigan. And we rode last summer. I rode motorcycle around Lake Michigan and got up into the UP. And for years, I never even knew that the UP was National Forest. And so I'm riding a street motorcycle and I'm seeing all these National Forest roads, and it's killing me that I can't go down them. I got to stay on the highways. And I said, I got to come back in the FJ. This is killing me because it's so beautiful up here. But there's so many places that, you've got to get out of the normal way of thinking that, I've got to go to Colorado and Arizona and Utah and in New Mexico and in California and see all this stuff, because that's where, that's the popular places. But there's so many beautiful places out there where you are. And I'm so excited that you're actually showing us some of those, even if it's raining the whole time you're there.
Michigan's definitely on our bucket list. We've talked about the UP several times, and Kelly's been trying to get us to plan a trip to Wisconsin for a year or so now. Excuse me, because he's been there overlanding before already.
And they have cheese curds.
We
were riding, so we rode motorcycles around the whole lake of Michigan. We were coming down through Wisconsin, and we stopped and ate, and here comes this van, and he pulls up at this convenience store. I'm getting gas, and it said mobile cheese curds, and I'm like, my mind just blown. I mean, you will actually bring cheese curds to me. That is, come on now, that's not even fair. So we take advantage of that while we were there. So buying cheese curds out of a like an ice cream truck van that was
Yeah.
cool. So Wisconsin, yeah, that's another place. That's not something that's really on a lot of people's radar.
Right.
But there you are now in a place that I've never even considered, never even heard of the trail that you're on, because it's not been on my radar in South Carolina. So what made you decide South Carolina for this trip?
Well, we had hoped to get away from some of the cold weather, but
It didn't work.
of course,
Didn't
that
work.
and the rain followed us.
What are they talking? 24 degrees?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 24 degrees here Saturday.
Oh my
we
goodness.
didn't escape. I mean, our last, the Mid-Atlantic, we woke up to snow and 11 degrees. So we decided to do something a little warmer. Go to South Carolina, right? You know, there's trees blooming here. But yeah, we're going to have 24-degree temperature. But the South Carolina Adventure Route, it's a 1,000-mile loop around the state of South Carolina. So it's backcountry discovery route. So it's either back roads, blacktop roads, or gravel roads or dirt roads. So, and it's not real difficult from what we've seen so far. It may change tomorrow, but you know, pretty much anybody could do this. Would be a great trip for somebody who just wants to get into it and dip their feet in. This will be a perfect route to start with.
Awesome.
Wow.
Do you stop? Do you like to travel fast? Do you have a timeline that you're on that? And I know you both work, so you probably have a day that you have to be back home. But do you travel fast, or do you try to stop and take in some of the local cuisine, local culture, see some maybe some certain things that are in that particular area? How do you plan your trips like that?
We try to take our time and enjoy the trip. You know, we've only got, you know, a certain amount of days. And, you know, if it takes us 2 days longer to get to an area where we thought we might get to, well, you know, that's just 2 more days that we look forward to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't say, well, we've got 1,000 miles. We're going to knock this out in 5 days. And just try to beat the miles in to try to say that we've accomplished it in 5 days.
We just come back to it.
You know, we just come back to it. Yesterday, we stopped at a 200-year-old bridge in South Carolina. It was built in 1820.
It's pretty.
And it was absolutely beautiful. You know, and if you just are busting miles out, you drive right past things like that and you never see it. So yeah, we're going to stop. We always do. We try to stop and take time, look at things, enjoy where we're at, enjoy the moment and the surroundings that we're in, because that's why we're doing what we're doing.
If we don't exactly stick to the exact route. If we see something, we'll go look at it and get back on.
It's like this one, you know, it's a route, and we will generally follow it. However, if we see something that we want to look at somewhere else, or if a Forest Service road looks interesting, and then we're going to hit it. You know, our tracks are never exactly what the BDRs may be. You know, it's the same way with our Smoky Mountain 1000 trip. You know, we probably turned that into the Smoky Mountain 1300 by the time we got done. You know, but it took us 4 or 5 trips to do.
I think
it was a 1,000-mile loop, and it ended up taking us like 5 4-day trips to do that. You know, so we definitely don't just bust miles out.
I mean, you can't get anywhere when you get up at 11 o'clock.
I don't know. Staying up till night, trying to find a campsite.
Yeah.
So they follow Chris's motto is coffee at 11.
Coffee at 11.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if you have ever camped with Chris, who puts on More Expo, but it's so funny because he stays up so late at night around the campfire.
So
and then, you know, you get up, you have coffee, you have breakfast, you're just sitting around talking, and here in a couple hours, here comes Chris out of his out of his tent. Hey, y'all want any coffee? I was like, man, we had coffee like 4 hours ago. You
So
know,
there's
your
a
timetable is
story.
completely different than mine. But
Yeah, there's a story behind us meeting Chris at the Smoky Mountain Overland Rally, and he may want to share that with you over at the Recovery Lounge.
Oh boy.
Before you just ask him how he met CoddiWomple.
oh
Okay.
my goodness, I'm sure that's a good one.
We'll have to ask him.
Just to summarize, I think he ended up leaving our camp
Like
that night
4?
at about 3:45 in the morning.
Oh,
That sounds
I had
about right.
I had one of those nights with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
You know,
I can put two stories together and make one. We were talking about the Gazelle before Chris got his Lexus. Before Chris got his Lexus and got the rooftop tent, he had a Jeep and he slept in a Gazelle. Well, Chris is colorblind, and so we were at Natural State Overland's Rendezvous 2 years ago. Chris was out late at night wandering around. We were camped right beside him. We were camped together. So Chris was out late at night and wandering around doing things. And we actually swapped one person's Gazelle. It was orange and his green one. And he came in that night and we put everything back just the way it was so he wouldn't know. It was just a different color, same tent, just different color. So he gets up the next morning and he comes out. Well, next morning is like 11. And he gets out and he's looking at it. And he's like, something's not right about this. I don't know. He said the pockets on the inside of this tent are different. And I had my jacket down in there. Never could tell that it was a different color. So it was funny. He actually ended up taking the green tent home and the other guy took the orange tent home. It was funny. And then we had to meet later and swap them back. So it was great. But yeah, if you ever want to pull a cool trick on Chris, just know that he's colorblind. And it's always fun messing. It's like messing with Sasquatch.
To put in your pocket.
That's right.
Exactly. Always keep that in your pocket for your later time. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Where and I know you've touched on it, but what are some of the trips that you have? It's just March now, so you've still got all the year ahead of you. What are some other trips that you have planned for this year for CoddiWomple?
Go ahead, Deb.
Let's see. We're doing Course More, and then we leave there, and we'll be going to do back the byway.
We're going to spend after More. We're going to spend some time there around Mark Twain or the Ozarks before we come back. So we're going to try to spend a few days there after More Expo.
Okay.
And we're going to do. There's an event that Dan Cummins is sponsoring.
Can't even think of the name
for the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway. It's a back the byway support ride and helps them keep that area there in the Red River Gorge open. So we're going to go hang out with those guys for a couple of weeks or for a couple of days. Yeah. And then June 1st, we're heading west. We're going to start at the north rim of the Grand Canyon and wander around for 21 days and eventually make our way back home.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That does sound terrible. And we might actually run into you out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're leaving June. What are we leaving? Like June 3rd? June 3rd or 4th? We're going to Wyoming.
Okay.
We're stopping in Denver at the Rhino Rack headquarters, talking to the bigwigs out there for a day, and then we're going to go to Wyoming. We're going to come, and this is the part I don't like very much, but we're going to come all the way back from Wyoming to Kansas to the Big Iron Overland Rally for 3 days. Yeah. And then Ronnie from West Virginia and I are going back to Colorado till the end of June. So we'll be out there in Colorado, New Mexico somewhere, running around. He's never been out west. So I'm going to take him out there and show him around. He didn't want to do it by himself, so he talked me into it. It was hard.
It was hard, I'm sure.
It was a tough decision. And then we come back the end of June and go to Tennessee for 3 or 4 days, and then I've got all of July off, and I really don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. What should I do? But I know this: July in Arkansas is not fun, and so I'm not staying here.
Well, that's generally southeastern United States. It's just it's sticky in July.
Sticky, humid, not fun.
So
You got to
we'll
get to the higher elevations. So
we don't have anything planned for July yet either.
Yeah, we were looking at that area around Wayne National Forest.
Yeah, we're looking at maybe Wayne National Forest in Ohio. Is one that we've never really hit, and it's not too far from home. So I don't know if we can make something out of that one or not. I haven't done a whole lot of planning for that one yet. So UP in July, Misty says that sounds like an idea.
Let me tell you, when we rode around Lake Michigan in July of last year, we had to wear jackets every day, and you would love it because it rained a lot. So it would be great. Perfect
My
spot.
concern about the UP is when are the flies not there?
Never.
In the winter.
Is it either flies or snow? Is there
Flies or
ever a
snow,
time when you don't have either one?
Yeah. Well, it could be the UP. I don't know. The wind is always blowing up there, so if you camp on the water every time, you don't have to worry about the bugs too much because they'll either fly into you or away from you.
Or away from you.
Because the wind is always blowing up there. I do have a trip planned to the Boundary Waters in August, and I'll get to check that off my bucket list. So,
there you go.
Yeah, I'm real excited about going up there into Minnesota and we may actually go into Canada if we don't get caught. I don't know. May never see me again. Who knows?
I actually grew up right near the Boundary Waters, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Yeah,
I have not heard one bad thing. Not one bad thing. So I'm real excited.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm a water kid. I love kayaking, canoeing, fishing, all that stuff. So I think I'll be right at home. And being out in the middle of nowhere with nobody around sounds like heaven to me. So my boss always asked me. She said, "Why, when you go places, do you always post on Facebook that the best part about it was you never saw another person?" I said,
"It is.
That's the best part about it." I work with people every day. I do this to get away from them. So if I run into somebody and they want to tag along, that's fine. We're like-minded, but most of the people I deal with, we don't think the same. We weren't raised the same, so it's different.
Right.
But anyway, well, that is cool. Well, we have several events that we are planning for. Tony, tell us about some of the events that we have coming up.
Well, we have More Expo in April
8th through the 10th.
And then we've got the Bonfire Rendezvous down at Mulberry Mountain, April 30th through May 1st. We've got the Big Iron Overland Rally, June 10th through June 12th. And then Rendezvous in the Ozarks, October 13th through October 15th.
October. I'm excited about all those. More Expo is going to be incredible. Big Iron is always something that I look forward to. We've only had it 1 year, but it was so completely different because it's kind of like Bonnaroo for overlanders. They have all these bands come in and play for you, and you get to listen to them, sit around, drink coffee, and all that.
You get to hear Chris sing in the bucket.
Chris sings in the bucket till 3 a.m. like he always does. So it keeps everybody up, and it's great. So. Well, we have a lot of things planned, and we are excited about 2022. And I can't thank you all enough for coming on here and sharing just a little bit of your time with us. We have had a great time visiting with you and getting to know you. And it's just like 2021 and 22. We get to know each other virtually now,
right?
And so that is what we have done. And so I feel like we've known each other for years now. Because we met on the internet. So
that's right.
I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your trip. I hope you have lots of sunshine that comes your way. I hope you get to say on your video, this was an odd trip because we had rain at the first and then the sunshine the rest of the time. So I hope you actually get to brag about that, and I'll pray that happens for you. But I can't tell you thank you enough for coming on here. It's been a true treat for me, and I know it has been for Tony as well and everybody that has watched.
We've certainly enjoyed being here. Thank you guys for inviting us on. Truly enjoyed it.
You know, we enjoy talking to you guys.
Yeah, Summit More Expo.
That's right.
You betcha. One last thing that I always like to ask the veterans. For those out there who may be listening and, thinking about, I don't have the right rig to do this, or I really don't have the time to do this. Maybe teetering on the edge of getting out there and exploring or doing what you do. What would be your advice to them?
Can I take this one, actually?
You can actually take
When I first started with Bill and Debbie, it was my pickup and my backpack. And I did that for 6 months.
That tells it all.
Just what was in my backpack, threw it in my truck, and went out for 6 whole months and did that with them. You don't need anything special. You need a vehicle that can move under its own power and enough stuff to keep yourself warm and dry. And it doesn't matter what that stuff looks like.
So this is our second day on the SCAR, the South Carolina Adventure Route. There's nothing that we have hit in the last 2 days that you couldn't do in a two-wheel drive vehicle. You don't have to have a Gladiator on 37s or a Power Wagon on 37s. Alan and Nancy did the majority of the Kentucky Adventure Tour with us in a completely stock JL.
The best tool to take, though, is a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a
That's good advice, Alan. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, the best rig is the one you've got. The best equipment, is the equipment you have.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be the high end, most expensive stuff you can find. Have a place to sleep, have a place to fix you something to eat. If you don't have way to fix you something to eat, bring a bologna sandwich. But get out and explore, enjoy nature, and take a step back and get away and enjoy life as life should be enjoyed.
Well said, Bill.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well said.
And I think there's more to say about what you would be missing if you don't go than,
Also, to plug in for True Patriot, they do ride-alongs in their vehicles. So if you don't have a vehicle and you want to get out, contact True Patriot.
There you go.
Yes.
Excellent.
There you go.
Love it.
Thank you for that. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a wonderful evening, and we appreciate y'all being here. You've sat out in the cold, rainy wind for 90 minutes, and we truly appreciate that.
Yeah.
We are going to wrap it up, and we're going to talk about I think that's the time. That's the time. The little Tweety Bird has went off. We got to get off here for some reason. I don't know. Make
Next
sure
week.
and tune in to do what?
I was going to say next week.
Next
we got
MC Ranch Overland.
MC Ranch Overland. Mr.
All
Mike.
the way from Canada.
Yep.
Going to be with us on
there you
here, talking about their products and their build and overlanding and stuff. So we will be back on Tuesday, as always.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
That's right. And thank y'all for being on here. Until then, everybody, get out there. It doesn't matter what you got. Just like they said, get out there and enjoy life as it should be lived. And as always, look out for number 1 and don't step in number 2.
Professor and Friends 2022.
Woo-woo. Thank you for watching.
Professor and Friends. Professor and Friends. Joey the Professor and Friends.